Silly. As you know, we have been following a number of big races in the midterms, and Minnesota is a state that has been under Democrat control for many years now. But in a wave year, could Republicans have a chance to take it back? The latest Real Clear Politics poll average shows that the governor's race is within single digits. And in our final Race to November segment of these midterms, Dr. Scott Jensen joins us to talk about his campaign and his plan for Minnesota. And Dr. Jensen, it looks like you were on the road, which is, of course, where you should be in this last weekend before the election. I was just in Michigan, and I was talking to voters. The pandemic is still very much top of mind there. The lockdowns, the restrictions. To your credit, you were very courageous, pushing back very early on against the public health establishment's prescriptions for the pandemic, including vaccine mandates. Are you hearing that that is a motivator for voters in your state as well?
It's a powerful motivator. People remember well the lockdowns of the businesses, the locking out of the kids, the locking in of the nursing home patients that caused them to die of miserable, horrific deaths. People understand very clearly that this election is about inflation. It's about crime. It's about what have we done to our children. And we're stopping all over the 7-county metropolitan area. And every place we go, it's 100 people, 150 people. It's in the 30s. There's sleet in the air. But people are highly engaged, and they know that we need to make a change.
Now, you've been endorsed by former President Trump. He called you a strong leader on both fighting crime and delivering what he says is solid and sensible education. You've also been endorsed by the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. Your current governor has been a big booster of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minneapolis, who called police a cancer and pushed for the dismantling of the Minneapolis Police Department. Talk to us about your approach to the crime wave.
Tim Walz has quit on the cops. He's quit on the National Guard. He quit on the State Patrol. Ilhan Omar called the police a cancer that needed to be defunded and dismantled. And a few weeks later, Tim Walz told Minnesota that they should get behind Ilhan Omar and support her so that she can represent us in Congress. Honestly, Tim Walz has absolutely failed in regards to crime. He arguably is the godfather of the epidemic of crime that has swept across our nation. We are going to put more cops in the street. We are going to use incarceration as a tool to stop recurrent violent felons. And we are going to make sure our judges understand just exactly what a mandated minimum sentence means.
On education, Governor Walz has claimed that students only missed about 10 days of instruction under his watch during the pandemic. Listen to this.
Would you have done the schools any differently? Because I think that's where a lot of parents are upset about what happened with the schools.
Well,
do you think you could have made any other choice?
Well, I think, just to be clear, over 80% of our students miss less than 10 days of in-class learning.
Your reaction to that, Dr. Jensen?
That's a disgusting, barefaced lie that should offend every Minnesota parent. This could not be further from the truth. And in that same state fair, he tried to tell Minnesotans that we are a safe state, when the fact is we've been re-rated as a high crime state. And then he went on to tell Minnesotans that the reason he let the 3rd precinct burn was because that was the best advice of law enforcement, which was another barefaced lie. I think people are starting to get the message. Tim Walz will say whatever he thinks he needs to say because he doesn't think anybody will hold him accountable. Well, I think Minnesotans are ready to send a message to him on Tuesday.
I remember back in 2020, he gave a press conference where he basically, after when the riots were going on and there were literally fires burning, he basically minimized it. He said, well, what are we even talking about this for? Minnesota, Dr. Jensen, a very high turnout state. You've got a wonderful culture of voting there. It's also a same-day registration state. It's a close election. So this is about mobilizing voters. Talk to us about how your campaign is getting out the vote, because there's a pretty significant Democrat machine that you're up against.
Yeah, I think Tim Walz is counting on the media and the machine and the money to get the ball across the goal line for him. We will have visited nearly 100 cities in the 14 days prior to the election. We absolutely understand that what we have going on is a movement. Tim Walz can have his money and his media and his machine, but he does not have the hearts and the minds of Minnesotans. The Minnesotans are tremendously troubled at what's gone on. And I think that's why you're seeing people turn out like I say, in droves, wherever we go. People are highly motivated. They want to change. And I think that's why this election is absolutely a toss-up.
All right. We're going to have to leave it there. Minnesota gubernatorial candidate Scott Jensen, we will definitely be watching.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.